Greetings and salutations, good people of the internet. My name is Big Lou and welcome to my workshop. This week's project is going to be a cutting board for a very dear friend of mine that I recently reconnected with. She mentioned to me that she's been wanting to expand her culinary expertise, so I figured what better way to express my gratitude for reconnecting with her than making her a cutting board. All right, now wait a minute. Before all of you start going, oh no, another cutting board video. Yeah, you know what you were in for. You clicked on the thumbnail. This is partially your fault. I'm just doing my due diligence in completing the video. So let's go over to the lumber rack and see what we're working with. Remember, you asked for this. All right, so over at the lumber rack, I found some great options that we can use for this cutting board. Now, the friend that I'm making this for is more comfortable traipsing through the mountains of Belize than she really is anywhere else in the world. Does Belize have mountains? I think so. I don't know. Anyway, because of that, I found some Brazilian cherry that I'm going to use. It's a real dense, exotic hardwood, and I've also got some maple and some cherry here because she's from the Midwest. So, go Big Blue. We're going to... Since I know what the overall dimensions of this cutting board are going to be, sorry, I keep cracking myself up. Since I know what the overall dimensions of this cutting board are going to be, we can go ahead and start cutting some stuff to length over at the miter saw. Let's get to it. Alright kids, pro take. If you're cutting on a miter saw that's a smaller miter saw like mine is, it's only the 10-inch blade, and you're cutting a piece of wood that's too wide that the blade won't go all the way through, don't try to lift it up. I've seen people do that and it just makes me nervous every time. Always keep your piece of wood flat on the bed of the saw. Cut down as far as it'll go, let the saw completely stop, lift it up, flip the board over, line the blade up with the cut that you just made, and then finish your cut. If you don't feel safe doing any of those things, use a circular saw and a straight edge. Remember, a woodworker's best friend is his intuition. If it feels wrong, don't do it. Safety first, kids. Okay, so since the lumber that I got is only surfaced on two sides, which means it's S. I don't know the sign language sign for S, but it's surfaced on two sides, S2S, instead of on all four, which means that the edges are still rough sawn. I don't have a jointer, so in order for me to get this cleaned up so that it get a nice good glue seam, I need to use this straight line ripping jig. You can also use a tapering jig if you have one of those, but this is pretty easy to set up. Brad Rodriguez on Fix This Build That, his YouTube channel, I'll put a link to how he made something very similar to this right here. So this friend of mine, y'all, she's amazing. She's so special because she's one of those friends that we used to stay up till the middle of the night dancing the tango in my living room while singing show tunes at the top of my lungs. Oh man, good times. I'm really glad there's no pictures of that. Dude, she's so gonna kill you when she sees this. I don't care. She'll forgive me when she sees how many subscribers this video got. I hope you're right. Y'all gonna subscribe, right? Subscribe so she doesn't kill me. Don't kill me. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. Subscribe. Okay, so now that we've sanded it through 120 and then 220, we're in the home stretch. All I gotta do is hit it with a little bit of water to raise the grain, get it nice and fuzzy, knock those fuzzies back with some 320 just by hand, and then we can finish it. For finishing, I'm just going to saturate it with some regular old mineral oil from the drugstore, and then once that dries and cures, I'm going to buff it out with some of the board balm that we made, Big Lou's board balm. A couple of videos back, you can see that. Will be linked at the end of this video. So, let's get to work, because we're almost done. It is done and it is on the way. I put it in the mail this afternoon, so by the time you are seeing this, she should have already had opened it. I'm going to try and convince her to let me do a video capture of her opening it when she receives it. And if she is so gracious enough to allow that, I will put it on my Instagram for you guys to see. So go ahead and be sure you follow me over at Big Lou's Workshop on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter and on Facebook. If one of those social media platforms is more to your liking, you can find me anywhere just at Big Lou's Workshop. If you have stayed to the end of this video, then you, my friends, are an absolute legend. You are truly one of Big Lou's lackeys. Hashtag Big Lou's lackey. And I will see you on whatever it is that I'm working on next, because I got stuff to do. Stay motivated, stay inspired, stay safe. We'll see you next time.